The new Sora 2 video model by OpenAI is insane, and I just found a way to make UGC style videos just like this.
If you crash in the afternoon like me, hold on. This actually surprised me. I only grabbed it because the bright can with the butterflies caught my eye at the gas station. Okay, that's peachy, a little bit of citrus, smooth, not heavy at all, chilled as the mood.
And
I never buy stuff off ads, but this one got me. My skin was looking kind of dull, makeup just sat there, and I've got a couple old breakout marks. My friends kept raving about this DR Rational Vitamin C serum. I thought it would sting or turn brown like the.
And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can create this UGC style videos for your own use cases, for your own products. But before we get into that, let me quickly show you how you can create one ASAP. So what you want to start by doing is basically clicking the first link in the description below and joining the Builders Lab community. Once you're there, you're going to get access to this web app over here. And once you're on here, basically upload an image, which is basically the image of the product. In this case, we'll be using a protein powder by Optimal Nutrition. We're going to choose our aspect ratio, whether that be portrait or landscape. And over here, we're going to make sure that our webhook URL is set and make sure that the N8N backend is set to active too as well. So once we copy that, make sure it's a production URL, just click on the generate video button, give it 3 to 5 minutes, and we're going to see the results. It's finished. So let's quickly give it a look.
If you keep skipping breakfast because you're rushed, watch this. I never stick to protein powders. Figured they were all chalk. This one, I was wrong. Okay, this actually tastes good. 24 grams of protein, mixes fast, no clumps.
This is really good. The only downside, or should I say the only thing I noticed, was that the script is not aligned with the product, because who takes I do gym myself, so I don't know if there's any particular people who take protein powder as breakfast. But yeah, I wouldn't be doing that, to be honest. But yeah, as you can see, the video was done really well. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna show you a quick high-level overview of how this is put together. This web app has two components to it. There's the front end, which is lovable, which takes in the input, this image for example, converts it to base 64, the aspect ratio as well, and puts everything into a JSON body, which gets sent to this webhook URL as an API call. And what the backend does is that it receives that JSON body, which is the base 64 image and the aspect ratio selection, whether that be portrait or landscape. Once we have gotten those two, we basically convert the base 64 image into an image URL, because most API endpoints don't accept base 64 as an input. So we'd have to convert the base 64 image into an image URL. And this software used for that is IMDb, which is an image hosting platform, but you can use any other image hosting platform you use. This is just what I use personally. After that, we move over to this analyze product image, and what it basically does is that it takes the visual representation of the product that we took here, and it basically turns it into a textual description, so that this AI UGC creative director would be able to understand the product, because it does not have the ability to take in images. So we'll have to provide it with a textual description of what the product is, what the product does, everything like that. And just basically think of the AI UGC creative director, which is next after that. Just think of it as the director which orchestrates everything. It chooses the type of person that should be in the UGC video, the scripts, how they should act, every single thing. So once it basically orchestrates everything, it provides us with an image prompt and a video prompt. And we provide those two image prompts and video prompt to the Sora 2 model, which we make a request using TAI, which is an AI aggregator platform, which you can get access to other video and image models, not just the Sora 2 model by OpenAI, as you can see here, which is what we're using. Once the request is made, because video models take quite some time for the videos to be made, we just put a waiting time of 3 minutes. After that, we check the request. So we check the status of the request that we basically made here. And if it's done, the way we determine if it's done is we use the switch case statement, which is like an if else statement, which determines that the video is done. If the video is done, it basically moves over here, but if it's not done, it loops over and waits 3 minutes again and just continues looping until the video is done. But once the video is done, because the response that we get from the key AI API is basically the results in a stringified JSON. We have to pass it. Once we pass it, we send it back to the webhook, which then displays it here for us and gives us an option to play it and download it. So yeah, that's basically a quick high level. Up next is basically going in depth into every single node and explaining how the data flows from A till Z. As I've told you, the front end basically takes the input, which is the image and aspect ratio, and sends it to this webhook URL as an API call. And the webhook, let's go to one of the executions that we just did. Okay, all right, good. So as you can see here, if we go to the webhook node, we can see that the front end in fact has sent a JSON body, which includes headers, and what the most important thing that we want to look at here is the body. You can see here the image, which is converted to base64. Base64 is quite long. Go all the way down, and we can also see that the aspect ratio has been sent over, which is basically what we uploaded here and made the input here too as well. So once that is received, we convert the image from base64 to an image URL using this image hosting platform, which is IMDb. We make it a post request, and we make an API call to this endpoint, and we also provide it with our API key, but providing it as a query parameter. We send no headers, but we send a body, but it's a form data because it's base64. So we send the form data, which is the basics, which includes the value here, which is the base64 that we get from the front end. And what it basically does, once we make the request, is we receive this response, and the thing that we want to look at in this response is the URL, which is right here, which means it basically turn the image from base64 to an image URL, which you can see here, and which we can then use in API calls, for example, because most API endpoints are more compatible with image URLs other than base64. So once we get that image URL, up next is basically the analyzing product, where we basically analyze the product image. We basically make an API call to the OpenAI endpoint, which analyzes the image, and we use the latest GPT-4o. And you can see the prompt here, which basically says you're an expert image analyst specializing in product imagery, and your task is basically to transform the product's visual details into a highly descriptive textual representation, which is basically what I've told you. And the instructions is to basically focus on the product itself and extract and describe the brand name, the logo, the product name, the colors, the design details, and finally make sure it's extremely detailed. And the output format is that we want it in a YAML, in a YAML structure, because we'd 100% prefer to work with structured data rather than unstructured text like a product description. That's just random, but the structured data only show me get every single thing that we need. So in this case, we put in the prompt, and we provide it with the image URL that we got from IMDb, which is basically what I showed you right here. So once we have that, we get a response, which basically takes the visual representation of the product and turns it into a textual representation that we can provide to the UGC creative director. As you can see, here's the YAML file. The brand is Optimal Nutrition. Everything is set, even the logo, every single thing. So once we have gotten that, up next is the UGC creative director. This is basically the brains of the whole workflow. It orchestrates every single thing. So here's the system prompt, but it's quite in-depth. So we start with, you are a world-class UGC video director who who has created multiple viral and highly profitable UGC campaigns for e-commerce brands, blah 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 blah. And basically we're instructing it by telling it, okay, you'll be given a product description, which is this YAML file, and using the product, your task is to come up with UGC video concepts following the master guide. The master guide is quite in-depth because it goes into every single aspect of a UGC video. We start with the creator selection, we go in-depth from the age ranges depending on the product type. So if it was, let's say, a beauty or skincare product, it would be a 22-year-old person. If it was a fashion, 19 to 32, health and wellness, 30 to 50. And in this case, let's go over here. Yes, this looks like a 30-year-old and above person because it's a health and wellness product. We also go deep into the gender strategy because female creators give you higher engagement when it comes to the beauty niche, fashion niche, home and the wellness niche too as well. And the male creators also better for tech, fitness, outdoor gear and all that kind of stuff. And as you can see here, it gave us a male creator because it was a fitness product. You can also have mixed approaches which test both for maximum reach. So you can have both male and female in your, so you can have a variation of male and female for your products in these videos. Up next, we go into the creator personality profiles. As I've told you, this goes quite in depth. So what I want you to think of this, basically the creator personality profile is that there are different types. There's the relatable friend one, there's the skeptical convert one, there's the busy parent one. So those are the 3 different personality profiles. After that, there are physical characteristics that work. So there's the so we go into the facial features, we go into the body language. As I've told you, we go in depth into this. And after that, we go into the technical setup in this master guide. So the camera quality, you would like an iPhone 12 to 14 because as I've said, I don't want the video to be extremely polished. So an iPhone like 12 to 14 is okay. And we also focus on the natural lighting, camera shake and all that kind of stuff. Also the quality markers, making sure it's not 4K, it's like 1080p. So all this are the strategies that we give the AI, and input that we give the AI to just make sure that what it's making is not too polished. It's just a bit imperfect, because the more imperfect it looks, the better and more realistic it is. And also audio strategy, filming angles, setting an environment like the location psychology. We can have the personal bedroom, we can have the kitchen and dining area, we can have the bathroom, like getting ready, we can have the car interior, the couch/living room. And also like the background elements, the timing consideration, whether that be in the morning, night, during the day, all that kind of stuff. We account for that in this master guide. After that, we go into the script, which starts with the hook. Obviously, there are different types of hook. We can have the contradiction, the discovery type of hook, the urgent problem type of hook. After that, we have the story arc structure, which we have the 4-part formula, which starts with the setup, then discovery, then after that the experience, then topping it off with the results/call to action, the language patterns. As you can see, it goes quite in depth. You can download this workflow and have a look yourself. And if you just keep on going down, I'm pretty sure this is basically the end of the guide. Then after that, we also have important notes that I added. So make sure to use ellipses for pauses, which is basically ... instead of end dashes, and also do not use quotation like double quotation marks, because the AI models pick it up differently. And also, as I've said, the camera and image quality should not appear overly professional. The less polished and more natural it looks, the better. And here what we're doing is that we're giving it a role by saying your role you will direct the UGC by providing both an image prompt, as I've told you in the high-level explanation, and a video prompt. And the creator will then use this prompt to produce the actual UGC, which is basically Sora 2. Think of the creator as Sora 2. and all outputs should be formatted into a valid JSON. I told you structured data is always better than unstructured data, because structured data gives us a certainty, unlike unstructured data which gives us a bit of uncertainty. So here's basically the UGC prompt template, which is the output format. The image prompt should basically describe a single still image that authentically represents the scene, include details about the character, age, gender, look, emotion, body, all that kind of stuff. And then the video prompt is basically write a concise descriptive summary of a UGC style video. So think of the image prompt as a particular scene in the video. This is the first step that we have to do. So the image prompt basically creates the scene, and the video prompt basically turns that scene into a video and adds movements, basically adds movements to the still image that we created using the image prompt. And here are examples that we provided with so that we make sure that the outputs are actually good. So we provided it with the YAML description, and it gave us the image prompt here, which is a 36-year-old man, and it also gave us the video prompt. And once we have those, is that we make a request to Sora via key AI, make a post request, we send it to this endpoint, and then we provide it with a bearer API key, and we send this body JSON, which is this. We choose the model, which is the Sora image to video model. If there was no image, we would use the text to video model mode, since we're providing with an image, which is the image of the product here. So we'd need to use the image to video model, and then we are providing it with the prompt. It says basically using the product image provided, which is this one here, and referencing the JSON prompt below. Use the image prompt to design a visual setting and character, basically what I've told you previously. Then apply the video prompt to bring the scene to life by adding animation, movement, sound, and scripts to produce a complete UGC video. And you can see here we provided with the image prompt and the video prompt, and then we provided it with the image URL, which we got from IMDb, and then the aspect ratio, which is a portrait. And once we've made that request, the response we'll be getting is this one here. Over here we receive a 200 success code, which means everything is good. But what we want to look at here is the task ID, because it's going to be handy for us in the future notes. So we have the task ID here. As I've told you, we wait 3 minutes because video models take a bit of time for the videos to generate. So we wait 3 minutes. Once it's done, we check the status of the request. As you can see here, we made a get API call. So we made a get API call to this endpoint, which checks the record of the task that we created, providing it with the same bearer authentication token. But since it's a get request, we are not sending any JSON body. All we're providing is a query parameter with the task ID that we basically got from the first execution, which is this one here, which is the task ID. We provided here, and we got 200 success code, which means it's good and it's generating, and the state says still generating, and you can see here the result JSON is empty, which means it's not done yet. After that, we take it to this switch case statement, which is like an if else statement. With what it does is that it checks, let's go back to the first execution, it checks if this result JSON is empty, because if it's empty, it means that the video is not done and it's still generating, which you can see here. However, if it wasn't empty, let's go to the third execution, it would not be empty, which means it would be we would be provided with a stringified JSON and a video URL, which you can see here. So it basically checks if this is empty, and in the first run it did it the right way, which means it's empty, which means the video is not done, because if it was done, it would be at this branch. However, we're in this branch, which means in looped again, waited for 3 minutes, checked the status again, and if you can see here in the second run, it's still not done because it's empty and we're in the right branch. But in the final one, which means this generation took about 9 minutes, which is quite a long time to be honest. So you can see in the final one, this is not empty, and it provided us with a stringified JSON containing the video URL, which you can see here. And it did the right thing. It basically put us in the video is done branch, which is here. And what we do next is we exit this loop and we move over to pass the JSON, because as I've said, it's a stringified JSON. So we take the JSON, the stringified JSON, and basically pass it and turn it into an object, which we have here. And you can see in the results URL, we get in a video URL, which automatically downloads for us, but gets displayed here if you'd like to view it. Okay, so once it passes it, it sends it back to the front end, which then displays it right here. As you can see,
if you keep skipping breakfast because you're rushed, watch this.
So yeah, and it gives us an option to play the video and download it. So yeah, that's basically an in-depth explanation of how everything works from A to Z, how the data flows from this webhook, our node, all the way to the responsive webhook node. So all I'm gonna do next is basically show you how you can get access to this on your local computer, so you can get started with creating UGC style videos for your own use cases and for your own products. Access to all of this, what I'm gonna need you to do is click the first link in the description and join the Builders Lab community. Once you're there, you wanna make your way over to the classroom section, go over to tools and resources, and basically click all the way down and click on the Sora AI UGC generator page. Once you're there, you want to scroll all the way down and basically download this N8N workflow, which you then download. And once you download it, you open any blank canvas in N8N and basically click on import from file and basically import that file. Once you import it, you're gonna have this in your canvas. Once you have that, you're going to click on this to basically get access to the web app. And before you get started with generating the videos, because over here, if you click on the image here and just click on landscape, you're not even gonna get, you won't be able to click on the generate video because it's grayed out. So you'd have to basically get your webhook URL set, which is the N8N backend. And to basically get this set up is basically sign up for IronGBB, get an API key. Once you have an API key, you wanna come over to the converting image to URL node, click on this authentication, which is the generic credential type. We want to choose query authentication, and if you don't have this already, you're gonna create credential and basically put in the query key, which would be here, and the value, which would be your API key. And once you have that, just click on save and you're gonna get access to it here. The reason why I'm doing this instead of this, because you can just put in your key here and your value. This is just more secure, so I would recommend doing that. So once you have done that, you want to also set up your OpenAI account too as well. And also over here too, you also want to create a key AI account. And I believe that if you sign up with a brand new account, they give you 80 credits, and I think per execution of the Sora model, it's about 20 credits, so you can play around with it and create, I think, about 4 videos. So yeah, you want to create an account with Key AI, get your API key from here, and basically make your way here, doing the same thing that we did in the INGBB node, but this time instead of the query auth, we're choosing the bearer auth, because the Key AI API they use a bearer authentication rather than a query parameter authentication, that kind of thing. So you just want to paste your bearer token, and you don't need to put bearer, just paste the token here and just basically choose it from the drop down here. And once you've done that, you want to do the same here too as well, but this one, since you already set it in the request in this node, basically it's gonna be there, so you don't need to create any one, just choose it from the drop down. So once you have that, you're basically done. All you have to do is basically click on save here, get your webhook URL. From here, make sure it's a production URL, and basically and basically paste it here. So you paste it, you will be able to generate a video. So yeah, that's basically it for me today. Hope you liked this video, and yeah, see you in the next one.